The truth about visiting Dubai no one talks about? The Dubai you post isn't the one you live through. Online, it's all about the skyline and luxury. In reality, it's a city of systems designed for comfort, speed, and calm efficiency. That's why some trips here feel effortless, and others feel frustrating. Dubai works best when you follow its logic: where to go, when to move, and how to avoid unnecessary spending. By the end, you'll know the top 3 Dubai traveling rules worth copying first because they save time, money, and awkward moments. We're breaking down the everyday systems across transport, comfort, timing, costs, and the quiet social rules that keep the whole machine running. The city that turns outside into a shortcut, not a lifestyle. Dubai looks like an outdoor city in photos. Towers, waterfronts, palm trees, bright streets, wide sidewalks that seem like they should be full of people strolling. So most visitors land with the same plan: walk a little, discover things naturally, let the day unfold. Then you step outside and realize the city is playing a different game. Dubai has a way of quietly draining energy, not all at once, and not because you did anything wrong. It's the scale of the streets, the openness of the space, the distance between places, and the weather working together. What looks like a short walk can feel heavier than expected. The city responds by guiding you through comfort. Shaded entrances, indoor corridors, and air-conditioned transitions are built into everyday movement. You're not expected to stay outside for long stretches. You step out, take in the moment, then slip back into cool spaces that let the day keep going. The second you step inside, you feel it. Your shoulders drop, your brain turns back on, and suddenly, the day feels easy again. The city isn't trying to prove anything to the climate. It's trying to function inside it. Dubai doesn't just look futuristic, it feels futuristic in the practical way, like it was built to keep you functioning all day. Comfort is one half of the equation. The other half is how Dubai moves you through distance. The metro that feels futuristic until you meet the last few minutes. In most places, public transport is either stressful, confusing, or unpredictable. So when you hear Dubai has a metro, you expect it to be useful but not life-changing. Then you ride it. Dubai's metro often feels smooth, quiet, and organized in a way that makes your brain relax. It's bright, clean, and surprisingly calming, like someone designed it for people who don't want extra drama in their day. It moves through major areas quickly, and it gives you a sense of structure in a city that can look overwhelming from the outside. The universal problem shows up right after, the last part of the journey. In many cities, you get off the train and you walk a few minutes to your destination. In Dubai, you might get off and feel like the place you want is right there. But the streets don't always cooperate. Roads can be wide, blocks can be huge, shade can be inconsistent. What looks like a short walk can turn into an awkward detour. You get off the train, look up, and your destination is right there. Except getting there doesn't feel as straightforward as it should. But Dubai's solution is not complicated. The metro handles distance. Then you use a short ride for precision. It's not a failure of the system, it is the system. Long travel by rail, final landing by car. The city was built to connect destinations quickly, not to reward wandering between them. The metro is the spine, but you still need joints. And once you accept that, the next system suddenly feels like cheating in the best way. The taxi layer that turns maybe later into sure, why not? In many cities, taxis feel like a guilty splurge. You use them when you're tired, late, or giving up on your budget. In Dubai, taxis often feel like a practical layer of the city's design. It's often not distance that stops people, it's effort. A place is close enough to consider, but just inconvenient enough to skip. Over time, those small skips add up. Dubai lowers that barrier by making short rides feel normal. The city's scale turns a few minutes in a car into a smart trade. Less heat, less confusion, and far more energy when you actually arrive. A short ride can completely change your day. You arrive fresher, calmer, and way more willing to keep exploring. Dubai prioritizes speed and smoothness, and car-based movement is woven into how the city works. Dubai isn't trying to make you walk more, it's trying to keep you moving. If you like learning how countries quietly make everyday life easier, subscribe. Because once transport stops being stressful, your whole trip upgrades instantly. Now that you can land anywhere easily, the next mistake is planning like everything is close. The City of Worlds map, trick that saves you from traffic days. Dubai is not one center, it's a collection of worlds. Downtown has one personality, the marina area has another. Older neighborhoods feel like a different city entirely. Beach zones have their own rhythm. Business areas move like clockwork, and each world is designed to hold you once you arrive. It's easy to plan a Dubai day like a highlight reel, one area in the morning, another for lunch, a third for sunset, and dinner somewhere completely different. On a map, it feels efficient. In real life, most of the day disappears into traffic. Dubai works better in clusters. Pick one zone and commit to it for the day. When you stop bouncing between distant areas, the pace relaxes, the stress drops, and the city starts to feel enjoyable instead of logistical. When you stay in one area longer, everything slows down in the best way. You stop rushing and start actually noticing the place. See the city grew outward quickly, and destinations are connected by major roads rather than dense walkable streets. In Dubai, the best itinerary is not more places. It's fewer places, better. Because even with the perfect zone plan, there's one force that still controls your mood all day. Heat that behaves like a calendar, not a weather report. People talk about Dubai heat like it's a personality trait, like you either love it, hate it, or handle it. But the smarter way to understand it is as a scheduling tool. A lot of trips slow down without people noticing why. Energy gets spent early, usually under the strongest sun, and by the time evening arrives, motivation is already gone. Dubai works best when you follow its natural pacing. Outdoor plans fit early mornings and late afternoons. Evenings carry the city's best atmosphere. The hottest hours are built for indoor time museums, malls, long meals, and quiet resets that make the rest of the day easier. The difference is immediate. Your mood improves, your energy lasts longer, and everything feels less like a challenge. Dubai designs around the climate rather than pretending it is mild. Comfort is part of the city's logic. The real luxury is not spending big money. It's not wasting your energy. This is where Dubai starts to feel less like a city and more like a system you've learned to use. Why Dubai feels effortless when you stop fighting it. Here's the pattern you're probably noticing by now. Dubai doesn't remove every difficulty. It removes the kind of friction that quietly drains your energy when you're not paying attention. But it only works if you move through the city the way it was designed to be used. When people say Dubai feels effortless, they're usually not talking about luxury. They're talking about how little resistance they feel moving through the day. That ease isn't accidental. It's built on 3 invisible tools that quietly shape how daily life works here. The first is comfort routing. Dubai connects everyday life through air-conditioned hubs, shaded entrances, indoor corridors, and seamless transitions between spaces. This isn't about indulgence. It's about endurance. The city understands that when people stay comfortable, they last longer, they walk farther, stay out later, and enjoy more without feeling depleted. Comfort isn't a bonus here. It's part of the infrastructure. The second tool is destination design. In Dubai, places aren't meant to be passed through quickly. They're designed to hold you. Hotels feel like small cities, malls operate as social centers, dining areas, attractions, and even transit stations often feel complete on their own. Once you arrive, you're not expected to rush off immediately. You're meant to settle in, recharge, and let the space carry you for a while. The third tool is calm rules. Dubai works because many cultures share the same public space, and the city keeps the overall volume of chaos low. This isn't about fear or strictness, it's about predictability. When behavior stays measured, public spaces feel safer, smoother, and easier to navigate. That calm becomes contagious and it lowers stress without you noticing. Once you see these 3 tools together, the city stops feeling confusing. You stop trying to use Dubai like a compact, walkable downtown where wandering solves everything. Instead, you start flowing through systems that are designed to support you. Movement becomes easier, planning becomes simpler. The city starts working with you instead of against you, and now the next half will make more sense because we're going deeper into the comfort hubs, the quiet money traps, and the social codes that keep everything running smoothly. Comment the next country or city you want covered. The top request becomes the next script. The mall that isn't shopping, it's the city's living room. Dubai malls are misunderstood by people who think malls are only about buying things. In Dubai, malls are comfort infrastructure. They're where the city goes to recover from the outside world. A full day of travel is made up of small needs: water, a place to sit, somewhere clean to use the restroom, food that matches how you feel in that moment, and a space where you can pause without feeling like you have to justify being there. In Dubai, malls quietly fill that role. They function like modern public squares, bright, comfortable, and social. People meet there, rest there, eat there, cool down there, and reset before moving on without feeling rushed or out of place. You step inside for a quick break and suddenly you're hydrated, seated, fed, and ready for the next stop without even trying. Because outdoor street life is not always comfortable in the climate, and the city needed a substitute for the casual hangout outside culture. In Dubai, malls play the role that streets and parks play in cooler cities. The city isn't expensive by default, it's expensive when you drift into the wrong layer. The Dubai food system that lets you choose your budget identity. Dubai's reputation makes people assume every meal is part of a luxury experience. The skyline, the hotels, the rooftop views all suggest that eating here automatically comes with a high price tag. But that assumption misses how the city actually feeds itself day to day. Dubai runs on two food realities at the same time, often right next to each other, and the travelers who enjoy the city most are the ones who learn how to move between them instead of getting stuck in just one. Most visitors end up eating in premium areas simply because it's convenient. Restaurants are close to hotels, attractions, and scenic views, so choices feel automatic. Over time, those choices stack up. Prices start to feel high, the daily spend creeps upward, and the city gets labeled as expensive without much thought about alternatives. But Dubai gives you far more control than that. Yes, you can absolutely do the glamorous dinner with a skyline view, and when you choose it intentionally, it often feels worth it. The setting, the service, the atmosphere, all of it can turn a single meal into a memorable moment. The problem only appears when every meal quietly turns into that kind of event. Right alongside those venues is the Dubai people actually eat in. Simple cafeterias with fast service, local restaurants focused on comfort rather than presentation, casual spots where menus are straightforward, portions are generous, and no one expects the meal to be a performance. These places are busy, practical, and designed for everyday life, not special occasions. Once you start mixing these two worlds, something shifts. One premium meal feels special instead of routine. Everyday meals feel grounding instead of cheap. Your budget stops swinging wildly, and the city starts to feel less like a showroom and more like a place where people actually live. That balance exists because Dubai is a global city built by many communities. Different neighborhoods serve different needs, different budgets, different definitions of what a normal meal looks like. The city isn't pushing you toward luxury. It's offering it and waiting to see whether you choose it every time. Dubai gives you options at every level. The skill is choosing intentionally instead of drifting upward without realizing it. Because even on a day that feels simple and affordable, Dubai has one quiet way of raising your total if you're not paying attention. The receipt reality check that prevents surprise spending. Dubai can feel affordable or expensive depending on how you move. But one of the biggest money shocks isn't the base price, it's the extras you didn't mentally include. Money feels simple when you're planning a trip. You see a room rate, a menu price, a booking screen, and your mind locks onto that number as the truth. It feels settled, it feels handled. Until later, when the final total looks slightly different than you expected. In Dubai, small details matter more than people realize. Some charges are common in tourism-heavy cities and appear quietly at the end rather than loudly up front. Nothing dramatic, just enough to surprise you if you weren't expecting it. A quick pause to read the details keeps the experience smooth. It's not the main price that catches people, it's the small extras you didn't think about until checkout. Dubai's hospitality machine is built for huge volume, and price structures often reflect that system. It's a smooth city, but it doesn't remove responsibility. A quick glance can save you a lot. There is an invisible social code that keeps Dubai feeling calm when so many different lifestyles share the same public space, and you need to understand that. The quiet etiquette that makes Dubai feel safer than you expected. Dubai's vibe is welcoming, but it's also structured. It's a city where many cultures share the same space, and the whole place works better when everyone keeps their chaos level low. Most visitors don't realize they're carrying habits with them. The way they speak, the way they take up space, the way they react in public all feel normal because they come from home. But when those habits land in a shared environment with different expectations, they can stand out without meaning to. Dubai runs on a quieter social rhythm. In places like malls, transit, and public attractions, people move with a relaxed composure that keeps everything predictable. It doesn't feel strict, it feels organized, and that consistency is what makes the city feel comfortable to move through. You feel it when you're tired. Instead of fighting crowds, you glide through them. Instead of arguing with systems, you see people cooperating with them. It lowers your stress without you realizing why. Order is one of Dubai's core design goals. The city is busy, fast, and diverse, so smoothness is a survival skill. That smooth, safe feeling isn't random. It's part of how the city runs. Yet there's one very easy mistake most make in a city that looks like it was built for content. The camera habit that turns gorgeous footage into an awkward moment. Dubai is incredibly photogenic. Buildings look unreal. Lighting at sunset feels edited. Even ordinary corners can look like movie sets if you catch them right. Travel has trained people to keep the camera on at all times. Every street becomes potential footage. Every moment becomes something to capture. But in a city where families, private routines, and shared public space overlap closely, that habit can quietly cross a line. The easier way to move through Dubai is to let the city be the subject. Focus on the buildings, the light, the atmosphere. If people drift into the frame, think about how that moment would feel from their side. When there's any doubt, slowing down and choosing discretion keeps everything comfortable for you and everyone around you. Your footage improves when you slow down anyway. You frame the building, you wait for a clean moment. Your shots look sharper and more intentional, and you avoid collecting random faces. Privacy. Expectations tend to be stronger in many of the cultures represented in Dubai, and public comfort is taken seriously. The landmark is free. Other people are not background props, and this same read the room rule matters even more after dark. The nightlife bubble that works best when you treat it like a different world. Dubai can be lively at night, but it lives in specific places. Think of it like a zone of permission. Inside that zone, the vibe is social and relaxed. Outside, the city stays calm and family-friendly. It usually starts with a misunderstanding. Visitors spend time in a lively venue where the music is loud, the mood is relaxed, and everything feels permissive. Then they step back into the city, assuming that same energy applies everywhere. It doesn't. When that party mindset carries into quieter public spaces, the contrast can feel jarring, and the city suddenly seems stricter than expected. So entertainment lives in venues designed for it. Hotels, lounges, restaurants with nightlife energy, areas where adults gather and the mood is clearly defined. Outside those venues, the city asks for composure. It's not personal, it's the system. You'll feel how smooth it becomes when you respect the boundary. Inside the venue, you relax. Outside, you move calmly. No awkward moments, no unnecessary attention. Dubai optimizes for public order. A city this busy stays comfortable by keeping chaos contained. The vibe is simple. Enjoy the party in the party spaces and keep everything else calm. But let me make it easier for you to master these habits. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember these 3 moves. First, plan by zones. When you stop crisscrossing the city all day, everything becomes calmer. Your schedule feels lighter, your energy lasts longer, your trip stops feeling like logistics. Second, combine metro distance with short ride precision. Use rail for the long stretches and cars for the final landing. That one combo turns a huge city into a simple one. Third, treat public behavior like travel insurance. Dress with awareness in shared spaces. Film with respect. Keep your volume of chaos low. Dubai responds well to guests who make the system smoother, not harder. Everything else is a bonus. Those three are the foundation. Once you have those, the rest of Dubai becomes a playground. You stop feeling like you're guessing. You feel like you're using the city the way locals use it. Now let's finish with the biggest escalations, because the next one change how you understand Dubai as a place, not just a trip. The desert experience that isn't a tour, it's the city's origin story. Now, people talk about the desert like it's a checklist item, but it's more than a scenic background. It explains Dubai's obsession with shade, comfort, and control. A lot of people treat the desert like a quick checklist item. You book the experience, chase the dramatic shots, hop from one activity to the next, and suddenly it's over. And later, the photos look amazing, but the actual feeling of being out there never really lands. What Dubai does well is turn the desert into something you can actually experience, not just capture. The better trips are structured and paced, so the landscape has time to work on you. You're not only collecting moments, you're stepping into the environment that shaped the city's obsession with shade, timing, and comfort. Once you're out there, the city feels far away. And the landscape reminds you why Dubai designs everything around comfort, because Dubai developed beside a terrain that demands respect. Many of the city's indoor comfort systems make more sense when you realize what it is designed to protect people from. The desert is the reason Dubai became a comfort expert, because once you've seen the landscape, you're ready to meet the memory inside the city. The old neighborhoods that prove Dubai is not just a skyline. If you only visit the newest Dubai, the city can feel like it appeared overnight, fully formed, glossy, and futuristic. The older areas tell you the deeper story. Thinking modern means no history. Visitors chase towers and luxury venues, then leave feeling like they never touched anything real. In older neighborhoods, the scale shifts. Streets feel more human, markets feel direct, shops feel less curated and more practical. The city becomes less like a performance and more like a conversation. This is where Dubai feels most real. Different cultures, different food, different rhythms, all living side by side. You hear different languages in a single block, you smell different cuisines, you notice how many communities have shaped different corners of the city. Dubai stops being one story, it becomes many stories overlapping. Dubai's identity is tied to trade, movement, and people arriving from everywhere. The modern version is built on top of older patterns, not separate from them. The newest Dubai is impressive. The oldest Dubai makes sense. If you want the full story, you need both versions. And finally, there's one more layer that changes everything without changing the buildings. The Ramadan rhythm shift that teaches you how Dubai stays respectful. If your visit overlaps with Ramadan, the city can feel different in a way you don't immediately understand. Dubai does not shut down, it adjusts. Expecting every city to run the same way all year is the problem. Travelers arrive during a cultural season and get confused by quieter daytime energy or changed routines. So adaptation is the solution. Some places shift schedules. Evenings often feel more alive. The city becomes social in a softer, more community-focused way. Visitors do not need to be perfect, they just need to be aware. If you're unsure what is appropriate, the safest move is simple. Be discreet, be polite, and follow the room. Evenings feel softer and more social, and the whole city takes on a different kind of warmth. When the sun goes down, the city glows differently. Streets fill, restaurants feel warm. You see community, not just tourism. The systems are designed for coexistence. Convenience matters, but so does shared respect. Dubai's secret is not luxury, it's coordination. The real magic isn't the price tag, it's how organized everything feels. When you leave Dubai, the skyline fades, but the systems stay in your head. You notice how much smoother life feels when a city is built around intention? If you like this, the next video is about 12 harmless things you can't do in Japan because it's the same idea, but crazier. In Japan, the systems are even stricter, and breaking the unspoken rules isn't just awkward, it can get you arrested.